Hello there. It is around about 8:15 in the morning and I am walking towards Telford Centre. And what am I doing over here, you might ask? Well, if you think back a week or so back, I did that interview with Radio Shropshire with Claire Ashford, and I mentioned something about a couple of mysteries. And one of those was the hidden rock in the basement of the town centre. The mystery of the rock. Now, this is something I really want to kind of solve before my days are ended, And it's when they were building the shopping centre, and this is right back in the late 60s, there was this rumour that there was a rock. And that's not unusual because during the Ice Age, a lot of large boulders were brought down by the lake from the Lake Lapworth, and they were placed erratically, and a few of them are dotted about. But we know about one that's that big that they couldn't move it, they couldn't break it up. So they actually, in the shopping centre, in the basement, right in the bowels of the shopping centre, they built a room around this.
Wow.
Now, I know, it's people think I'm mad when I talk about this.
How did you discover it?
It's like the things I discover. It starts off as a rumour.
Right.
And it's by somebody who says, oh, they built that in there. So when a couple of years ago, I was meant to create this Lost in Telford video, the one that I was going to do, and I was going to include the town centre of how that's changed and the shopping habits and things. And I had an interview with the centre management and they confirmed it true.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
I've never seen it. I've never seen a picture of it. And that's what I want you to help me with.
Steve, we've got to get to see it. I want to see it.
I hope they confirmed it was true, so
we got to sort this out.
One.
Well, listen, Next month, right, we're taking the show to Telford Shopping Centre. We're going to do the show from there live. So you can join us, hopefully, if you're free, and then we've got to find out more about this rock.
So, as I said, I wouldn't mind seeing it and putting that kind of mystery to bed, if you like. And that's what I'm going to do this morning. We have been granted exclusive permission to go to the underbowels of the town centre to see this rock. But also, give me a chance also to talk about the town centre a little bit and what used to be there before it was the modern shopping centre. But what do we know about the rock at the moment? Well, what we do know is that when they built the shopping centre, they found this rock, which is not unusual, but it was that big that they had to break it up. Well, they didn't break it up, they couldn't break it up. So what they ended up doing is building a room and putting it inside the room, which is absolutely bonkers. And it's been almost like a rumour for a long time. So today we put that rumour to bed and actually see it for the first time. That's going to be something very, very special. The meeting point is at Upper Chambers, which is now the town centre management suite, I think, but we know it as the Upper Chambers, and that's where all those little businesses used to be that we used to go to, like I think like recruitment agencies and stuff had their offices there. I will at some point make a video on the changing face of the shopping centre and its growth, etc. So yeah, we'll see. Well, I am in the bowels of the town centre now and we're about to see this random rock.
Oh, hang on a minute. Oh my god. Now we're opening a door.
So to get to this rock, what we have to do is we have to go through this hidden door, and it opens up into this room, and you can see a lot of the infrastructure for the shopping centre, which is above our heads at the moment. We was not prepared for what we saw as we entered that room. I couldn't believe how long it was. You wasn't expecting this, were you?
I was not expecting it. I feel like I'm in some kind of weird movie.
Lead on.
Actually, let me put my thoughts on.
This is not what I expected.
You not what you expected, mud me either. Wow. Right, so this isn't.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That is. So what we were looking at, in fact, wasn't just a rock in a room. It was an actual rock face in a room running parallel with the building. That is. It was very, very unusual with these RSJs slotted in between it, holding up the shopping centre above. It was unfortunate that this room was in pitch black and there were no artificial lighting, which is a shame really. I am currently trying to ascertain what type of rock it actually is. We build up, so I quickly work out that the material we are looking at is sandstone with bands of iron ore running through it. Here is a great example of the layering of the sandstone. Look at this. It's definitely sandstone. You can see the fine layers of it just
yeah, you can see them just
yeah. Using Google Maps, I have estimated that the length of this rock face is approximately 35 metres and possibly 9 or 10 metres in width. It's a very, very unusual thing, but there's a perfectly simple explanation for it. And I would like to sort of give you that explanation. And also, I found a couple of pictures that might tell the story in a little bit more clarity of why they decided to build a box around a rock under the Telford town centre. What we are looking at is the remains of a glacial lake, the sedimentary build-up of a glacial lake made of finely layered material. So first let's look at the position. Now you can see on the map the orange blob is the location roughly to the rear of the bus station, and this signified the boundary of where the old Sainsbury's store ended. So now let's look at the geology of the site. So Telford Town Centre originally would have just been fields, and the ground rises from the east to the west on a gentle slope up, and underneath that is mainly sandstone, and that is the remains of an ancient glacial lake, if you like, sedimentary build-up. So they went on then to build a road. Now the road itself run with the contour of the ground, running up and running down. But then they wanted to build a bus station. So they built that on the same gradient as the road was on. But the underbowels of the shopping centre required a level loading bays. So they excavated the area out, and this is illustrated on this picture of the construction of the town centre. You can clearly see the rock face in the background where it's been chopped out. When the first phase of the town centre was completed, the rock face was visible in the loading bay of the Sainsbury's shopping centre. But when the later phases came along, they were able to go straight over the top of the rock instead of digging it out. It would have been far too expensive for them to excavate all that rock, and they just built over the top of it. And what is a good foundation than a rock face? So what they decided to do then is to go over the top of it and plonk the RSJs and supports right in front of it, and they boxed it off into a room of its own, and that's where the rock face has stayed for all of these years until today, when I can show you this exclusive, amazing site underneath your feet at the shopping centre in Telford. Well, that was it. That was it. I am a bit speechless of like, what did I just see? What did I just see? I just seen a rock in a shopping centre, but I've nicked a piece, look. I have nicked a piece of rock and I'm going to find out what it is. I don't know. Anyway, I nicked it off the floor, so we'll have to see what it is and find out what type of rock it is. My hunch is that it is lime. Is a piece of sandstone, but yeah, I got a piece of the rock from the shopping centre. It's complete and utterly weird. Anyway, thanks to Radio Shropshire for making that happen. And from Telford Shopping Centre, see you later.